to Year 1, Unit 1, Lesson 2 with Deutsch with Herr. God, 27 minutes the last video. What on earth was I doing? I'm going to try and keep this one a bit shorter and probably talk less as well. He says talking loads. So the three outcomes of this lesson entitled Hallo are I can greet people and ask how they are. I can understand when to use formal and informal register, i.e., just how you address people. I can understand and script dialogues using a range of vocabulary and registers. Wow, that sounds pretty fancy, doesn't it? Absolute grammar nerd. So, if you did the homework for this lesson, just to introduce you to the ideas, I won't read out all of the answers individually because they come up as well in the lesson. I'll just put those on there now, and if you want to pause and check your work, there's that. I'll move on. But cool. So, as I said, today's lesson is entitled Hallo. We've got some pretty bog standard ways of introducing yourself and saying goodbye. Again, I went through last lesson, and geez Louise, I think there are some copyrighted images in there, so better not do that again. Anyway, greeting people and asking how they are. To begin with, take out a mini whiteboard or whatever it is you're writing on and see if you can remember off the top of your head, not using the prep, i.e. homework, not using your notes or vocabulary list or anything. See if you can remember what the following mean. We've got Guten Tag, Auf Wiedersehen, Tschüss, Gute Nacht, and Guten Abend. So we've got Guten Tag is good, literally good day. Auf Wiedersehen is goodbye. Tschüss is bye, more informal way of saying it. Gute Nacht is good night. And Guten Abend is good evening. Nice, nice, nice. So if you look at number 2, it says Auf Wiedersehen. When you're talking on the phone to someone, though, Auf Wiedersehen is if you're in person. But if you're talking on the phone to someone, you actually say Auf Wiederhören. Any ideas what that could mean? So it literally means until again listening, or until we hear each other, until we hear each other again. So Auf Wiedersehen until we see each other again. Auf Wiederhören until we hear each other again. German's a very literal language, part of the reason why I really do like it. And I hope you like AI, random AI generated images, by the way. This is, hopefully, this sort of stuff's going to be replacing anything that would get me into trouble. Cool. Epic. I literally nearly said, do you have any questions? Yeah, if you have any questions, no, good, I'll move on then. So just some simple introductions. As we had, Guten Tag. If you want to repeat these back to yourself, just to practice the pronunciation, even better. Guten Morgen, that's good morning. Guten Abend, good evening. And Gute Nacht. Guten Tag, just a really common way of saying hello. Guten Morgen, can say that as well. Guten Abend. Gute Nacht is only really a way of saying like good night, as if you would in English, as in good night, going to bed, sort of thing. Um, they don't really say good afternoon in German. You do have the word afternoon, which is Nachmittag, literally after midday, but they don't really say guten Nachmittag. Not really. And then to say goodbye, and this is how everyone looks when they say goodbye to me, is Auf Wiedersehen, or as I said, Auf Wiederhören if you're only on the telephone. Or more commonly, sort of, well, it's not slang really, colloquial language, there we go, is Tschüss. Sometimes you'll see that written with an S. I don't know why, different parts of Germany. Rock and roll. Speaking so much, absolutely wild. So typically, after you say hello to someone, you'll probably ask them how they are. So, wie geht es dir? Or that's just shortened to wie geht's. Really common. People do use that in everyday language. It literally means, oh no, that comes up next. I did have a picture of two people sat there asking each other. So I asked AI to generate me an image. Weird, like one weird human person staring off into the mid distance. Anyway, wie geht es dir? How are you? Wie geht's? How's it going, I suppose? However, there is also Wie geht es Ihnen? And in the original PowerPoint I do in my lessons, I have a picture of, who is it? Friedrich Merz, which is the German Chancellor, and Keir Starmer, the UK Prime Minister, sort of greeting each other. Can't use that though, don't know if it's copyrighted or not. So I've just got this very accurate rendition of them meeting each other. There you go, absolutely amazing. Um, there is a slight difference here. I mean, obviously in spelling, both of them literally mean how goes it you? How is it going to you? I suppose in English you could say how goes it. Don't say that too often though. Now there is, as I say, a bit of a difference between wie geht es dir and wie geht es Ihnen. The difference between those two, are they on the next slide? Yeah, there we go. Wie geht es dir is with a friend or someone you know, or someone your age. Being formal and being informal is very important in German. In English, I suppose we do have that as well, but it's more your tone of voice or sort of saying please and thank you in particular. Whereas in German, there are two different ways of saying you. There's the informal and the formal. So on your mini whiteboard then, I'm going to show you some different people that you might come across, and you write down whether you think you would ask wie geht es dir or wie geht es Ihnen. Oops, so we've got, oh, the Queen. It's a bit of an outdated PowerPoint slide, sorry. Just pretend that says the King. That would be wie geht es Ihnen, unless you are on first name terms, which is probably unlikely. We've got the little thing, I can't quite read it here. So say your best friend, that'd be wie geht es dir. Your mum, 99%, I'd say wie geht es dir. Can't imagine to say wie geht es Ihnen, that'd be a bit odd. Your teacher, now I suppose this might change over time and depend on your situation. Wie geht es Ihnen is the polite thing to do. In Germany, though, they tend to have quite sort of informal relationships with the teachers. It's not quite strict as the UK. So they might say wie geht es dir to a teacher. If in doubt, though, just say wie geht es Ihnen. You're not going to offend anyone by saying the one on the right. Couple more. So we've got shop assistant. That would also be wie geht es Ihnen, just a polite way of speaking to people that you don't know or aren't aware of. Your dad, wie geht es dir is the option we got there. Policeman or police officer. Yep, that'd be wie geht es Ihnen. And if you're speaking to me, the one and only, suppose you just say, "How are you, my lord?" One idiot. No, you probably say "Wie geht es Ihnen?" Again, you're referring to a teacher, unless you're my friend, in which case, why would you call me Herr Hunt? Pretty straightforward then. Wie geht es dir? Informal. Wie geht es Ihnen? Formal. Oh, I've got more. Go away. Don't want any more. Obviously, you're going to want to be able to reply to that as well. Um, Watch out, I would say, for this bit, because it's really obvious or really easy for an English speaker to think, okay, my response, I am good or I am well. I am okay, I am happy, I am sad. In German, I am, ich bin. You can't use that in this context. If you did, it would literally mean I am happiness. I am the embodiment of happiness. It just doesn't make any sense. So, wie geht es dir? You say mir geht's. Literally, me goes it. So you've got mir geht's gut, danke. I'm good, thanks. Mir geht's nicht schlecht, danke. I'm not bad, thanks. And then if you're not doing too well, mir geht's schlecht. I'm not okay. Mir geht's nicht so gut. I'm not doing so well. If you want to then really quickly and easily ask someone that back, you can do this with any question really. If you want to ask them the question back to them, we've got und dir und ihnen. Want to chuck in some cheeky little intensifiers just to add a bit more depth to your adjectives as well. Got ganz, sehr, and nicht. Take a little look through the vocab list and see if you can find those. He says, not remembering if they're on the vocab list or not. So, ganz, sehr, nicht, which all go before the adjective. We've got totally, totally, very, and not. So, for example, if you want to say, also, if you want to say I'm doing really well, you might say mir geht's ganz gut, danke. Mir geht's sehr gut, danke. Easy. So, just more introductions. You're probably going to want to actually say what your name is as well. People are usually quite keen to hear what your name is. So, thinking about how the German alphabet works from last lesson still works the same, believe it or not. How do you pronounce these words? Give you a moment just to try and speak them out loud. So the question we've got here is wie heißt du? Cheeky little S set there again, that's the double S. The answer might be ich heiße Albert und du? Ich heiße Emmy. Isn't that fascinating? Um, so that literally means what are or how are you called? What's your name? I am called Albert. Now, the reason you don't use und dir here, just a special structure with those particular questions. Wie geht es dir? You don't say wie geht es du, and you can't say ich heiße Albert und dir. So just watch out for those two. Obviously, I've got no idea who would be watching this apart from me, my wife, and my mum out of politeness. But if you have any kind of sort of grammatical background with learning languages, why do you think the verbs change? So it's why isn't it wie heiße du? Ich heißt. Also, quick bit of fascinating information. You've got Albert Einstein on the left and Emmy Noether on the right. Um, Both very famous Germans. Albert Einstein, obviously, in the field of science, on the right, Emmy in the field of mathematics. So the answer to that question, which I don't think I put up, I didn't. The answer to that question, by the way, is you have to conjugate verbs. It's what the official boring grammatical way of describing it is. For example, I am, you are. You can't say I are, you are. So, wie heißt du? Ich heiße. And you always have to pronounce that E on the end of the letters. So try saying that out loud again. I know it may seem a bit odd to say things out loud, but like last lesson, I really do recommend it. Ich heiße. Sweet. Moving on. Cool, only 10 minutes this time. Look at this little sheet. If you are going on to the TES website, in the description, the link in the description below, where you can just download all of the resources for free. You can either do this in a book or a mini whiteboard or whatever. Alternatively, I've actually got this as a worksheet that you can download and work on directly. So if you want to download this from the website in the link below, I think you might have to create an account, but it doesn't cost anything. So, whatever. Can you please, using the knowledge organizer and the vocab sheet that you'll find on the TES website in the link below, uh, or just your brain, can you translate this typical conversation between two people into German? So use a vocab sheet, knowledge organizer. There's no point just going onto Google Translate or anything and just copying and pasting. What a waste of time. And it might also make mistakes as well. Google Translate tends not to really pick up on formal and informal in German. So, right, I'm going to sit back and be quiet and let you get on with translating this little text, and then we shall check the answers momentarily. Right, we're back. Hello, obviously it's Hallo. Wow, that was pretty tricky. Could say Guten Tag. Good morning, how are you? Guten Morgen, wie geht's? Alternatively, Guten Morgen, wie geht es dir? I would strongly recommend going through and correcting these with a different coloured pen. If you've written something down and it's got a mistake in it, studies that I can't remember exactly which ones they are, but studies show you are 5 times more likely to repeat something you've written than you are learn something that you've read. So if you've written it down and there's a mistake in it, and you don't correct that mistake, but you just read it off of this, you're 5 times more likely to make that mistake again, apparently. So do correct it. Oh, shut up. Who asked? No one cares. Anyway, I'm well, thank you. How are you? Mir geht's gut. Mir geht es gut, danke. Und dir? Because it does say informal there. That's not the formal version I was looking for. I'm not bad. What are you called? What an odd conversation. Mir geht's nicht schlecht, danke. Wie heißt du? I'm called Felix. Ich heiße Felix. How do you spell that? I couldn't find how to say that. It was on the knowledge organizer and or vocab sheet. Wie schreibt man das? Literally, how writes one that? Das schreibt man Felix. Wie heißt du? Ich heiße Andrea. Wie schreibt man das? Das schreibt man Andrea. Fantastic. Then we got goodbye, Andrea. Goodbye, Andrea, you little weirdo. Oh, that's definitely got like Shutterstock things or whatever. Goodbye, Andrea. Auf Wiedersehen, Andrea. Bye, Felix. Tschüss, Felix. Bis bald. See you soon. Literally until soon. Cool. So a bit of a shorter lesson, this one, but some really good introductions for how to introduce yourself, ask someone how they're doing and what their name is. I realise that's quite straightforward, but I do actually think this is the sort of stuff you would use in everyday conversation with people. So good to know. Again, as per usual, got any comments? Check them down in the, sorry, any questions, I should say, check them down in the comment section below. But can you, without looking at any of the sheets, just off the top of your head, say or translate, good morning, and then how are you informally? Good morning, how are you informally? Oh, you're a little legend. You probably got it right. It is Guten Morgen, and you've got Wie geht es dir or Wie geht's. Both are absolutely fine. So, write the correct way to ask these people how they are. So, Miss Barry, someone you've not met before, your sister, and the king. So, someone called Miss Barry would be Wie geht es Ihnen, because you've never met them before. And they haven't used their first name, so you have to be formal with that. Your sister, wie geht es dir? That's informal. Alternatively, wie geht's? And the queen or the king, wie geht es ihnen? Because you've never met them before. And there is that level of formality between you. Finally, without using any of the notes from today, can you translate the following into English? Look at me trying to be down with the kids, Beyonce. Cool. So, guten Tag, wie heißt du? Is hello, how are you? Sorry, what are you called? Jeez Louise, called himself a German teacher. Hallo, ich heiße Beyonce, aber mein Spitzname ist Bey. Wie geht's? Hello, I am called Beyonce, or I am Beyonce, but my nickname is Bey. How are you? Mir geht's sehr gut, danke. I'm very well, thanks. Happy days. So, nice little, little short lesson, 16 minutes. A shorter lesson on that one. Can't remember what the next lesson is, but, if I've uploaded it, it'll be on there, so whatever. I think it's numbers. It's numbers. Of course it is. That's what the next slide says. In the TES link below, there is also the homework for next lesson, which is just matching up the simple German numbers 1 to 12. Can you match up the digit with the German number? All on the vocab list or knowledge organizer. Give that a go. Next lesson's on numbers. I do like a bit of numbers. So thank you so much if you have bothered watching this. I hope it was useful. They do get a bit more grammary and a little bit more complicated and complex as we go on. Don't worry. Um, but that was me. So it's just left for me to say Auf Wiedersehen, Klasse, und einen schönen Tag noch. Tschüss.